Hey, welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining from. Welcome to another amazing episode of Friday Night Hangout. And as always, this is a very interesting, interactive time where we get to share, we get to have conversations on topical issues that will help us grow our personal brand, our professional brand, or our business. And so, in this month of May, we've been having interesting conversations. And tonight is the last episode in the month of May. So I'm excited because we're going to do a number of exciting things, inspiring things tonight. And like I would always say, if you don't have your note taking materials or your writing materials, please do go get one now. Okay. And for those who are just joining in, if this is the first time you're joining us live on the Friday Nights Hangout, or perhaps you're just watching the replay for the first time, a very big welcome to you. Welcome to the Friday Night Hangout Tribe. I'm your host, Joy Onyeso, and it's always a pleasure to have new tribe members join us. And trust me, this is a tribe you want to stay connected to. We meet here every Friday, 7 p.m. West African time, for 25 to 30 minutes, where we have topical, interesting, inspiring, uplifting conversations. Yes, yes, you heard me. It is happening here live. Okay, as always, you know how it is. For those who are be consistent on this show, I always like to know how you are. It's very important for us to share. So please put in the comment section. Let me know and let your tribe sisters, brothers know how this week has been for you. Has it been interesting? Has it been uplifting? Has it been challenging? Sometimes we go through weeks that are challenging and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Just know that you're not alone. Challenges gives us the opportunity to, move out of our comfort zone, to rediscover ourselves, to build resilience and to grow. Yes, to grow. So redefine the way you see challenges. Don't let it weigh you down. Don't let it keep you, feeling sad, feeling that you're not good enough, losing your confidence. No, 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 no. Learn the lessons and then build your confidence level that you're more than enough to deal with whatever life brings your way. I'm excited tonight. You can tell I'm excited because, this month of May, we've been talking about business growth. We started off the first week where we looked at what really is business growth. We looked at some of the tools for business growth. And the second week, and then we also talked about ambition. When we're talking about ambition, it all starts from the vision. If you don't have a vision, then it's very difficult for you to grow. You need to be clear on what you want to achieve. You need to be clear on, the pathway you want to take. And so, but at the same time, don't worry if you don't have enough clarity. That's why we're here. And that's why this show is always coming up every Friday, giving you the opportunity to, ask those critical questions. If you missed the episodes 1, 2, 3, please do go back and watch them after watching tonight's show. From talking about envisioning the power of, vision, the power of growth tools, we went into looking at, you know, consistency, the act of showing up, even when it is difficult to show up. Showing up, we may take it for granted. We underrate the power of consistency. Consistency means that you show up no matter what for that dream of yours. You show up. Even when it is not comfortable, when it's not convenient, you show up. If we look at the story of Christ Jesus, a believer, one of the things I like to do is to model the life of Christ. Christ came to die for our sins. And even when it was time for him to go, when he was praying, he became a little bit overwhelmed and said, Father, if it's thy will. Let this cup pass away from me. That is where you see the strength of character. You see the strength of commitment. The strength of commitment. He could have as well said at that point, what is all of this for people I don't even know that are still coming in from? But he looked beyond the disciples. He looked at the future of human race. And God said, let me send my only begotten son. And at that critical moment, he delivered. He said, not as I will, but according to your will. And it was God's will that his only begotten son would die for us to be saved. That is the strength of commitment, the strength of being consistent in one's words. What is it about that business of yours you want to grow? That when you look back at, you will say, this is the reason. There has to be a reason. You cannot be consistent if you don't understand your why. If there is no compelling reason for you to keep showing up. And that's why we set up with saying, listen, understand what your vision is. Understand your purpose. When you have that clarity, it gives you the response to your why. Why am I doing this? What is my real reason of getting involved in this? And that reason has to be bigger than you, my sister. It has to be bigger than you. If it's just all about you, sometimes you may compromise. And so we talked a whole lot about consistency. We talked about how to build consistency, the importance of building consistency. And then last week, we talked about creativity. What is creativity? Why is it important? How can it help you to grow? What are some of the methodologies you can use to validate some of your business, your creative business ideas? Because like we said last week, we don't want you jumping in all directions. Oh, because you're creative, no. We also need you to put a structure to it. You need to hone your skill sets. So we dealt extensively with that last week. And so to wrap up the conversation this month, talking about business growth, we're going to look at hard work. Some of you may have heard me qualify the hard work. I would say smart hard work. Very important. What is hard work? These days, we talk about grinding. Grinding is just another form of saying, keep on doing the work. Keep on doing the hard work. But to that hard work, I like to add smart work because not every hard work produces results. So you could tell yourself, I've been working hard, I've been busting everything I've got to make this happen. And the next question I ask you is the work you're doing, the hard work, is it smart? Is it smart? Because if the hard work is not smart, then the probability of you breaking through, the probability of you growing or manifesting that dream is really limited. But the key thing before I go into the smart hard work, I want us to understand tonight is there has to be a doing. There has to be the actions. So you cannot just keep praying. You cannot keep wishing. You cannot keep dreaming without taking the steps. God will not do for you that which you can do for yourself. So there are certain things, certain actions you need to take if you're interested in growing either your business or your personal brand. There are certain definitive steps that you need to take. And no one is going to do it for you. So I see a number of, startups. You start business today. And then after 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, you're complaining, oh, it's not working. You start looking for who you would depend on. You want to pour all your problems on the person to help you run your business, market your business. So I'm going to look at some critical areas where smart hard work is required. So if you're in business, you're either doing one of the two or both. You either have products that you are marketing, or you have services, or you have both. Now, if you have products or services, there are a number of things you need to do. One of the key things you need to do is, first of all, to look at your product development process. How did you come about developing that product? How did you come about, developing that area of service? Is there a need for it? Are you interested in creating a niche? Have you piloted the idea? Is that idea feasible? And is it viable? So there are a number of processes you need to get to from having that idea to implementing that idea. And it's not one that we need to joke with. It's something that you need to be very intentional about. And when you guys discussed that extensively last week. And so from that point, most of us don't think about marketing the product or marketing the services. Along the line, every part of the journey you're taking as an entrepreneur or as a professional would need smart hard work. Whether it is to identify the skill set that you need in the business or in your career, to growing it. When I mean growing it, like, really honing that skill set. Then if you're running a business, you need to think about what kind of management structure do you want to have for your business. How are you going to market your product? What will be your channels of marketing like? How are you going to price your product? How are you going to monitor and evaluate your products or services? How are you going to get feedback from your customers? What will your customer, your client journey map look like within your organization? So all of these are critical things, and they require you to do the work. It's not what you can give out to someone else to do for you. At some point, yes, you may need to delegate getting paid team members to support you or pro bono team members to support your work, but you need to have clarity. You're the visionary. So don't just think that business is just all about money. No. And often I would say beyond the money, are you willing to grind for that business? Are you willing to grind for that, your profession? Sometimes it requires you to take periodic professional exams for you to get to the next level. Are you willing to give it your all? Growth is not a coincidence. If you read my post this morning, I said success is a journey, it's not a destination. So sometimes we get it, in our head that if I could just get to this place, you get to that place, there's a different level of growth that needs to happen. And there's a different level of work that needs to happen to keep you at that place so you don't drop or to move you forward. So except you're not mindful, except you don't understand your journey, it requires you to work hard, and not just any kind of hard, specific, smart hard work. The hard work that is very specific. So you're not just working. You can't say that you want to run a hair business and then you're putting in so much work in your food business and you think that will translate into growth for your hair business. No. The work has to be specific. And even within the hair business, what areas do you need to put in a lot of work? What areas do you need to monitor? What areas do you need to grow? What areas do you need to outsource because it's beyond your current capacity? There's a lot of work that needs to be done, both the mental work, the emotional work, the intellectual work, the physical work. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. So you can't run away from it. Life requires hard work. And then when you live in a country like Nigeria, you need to work twice as hard. And listen, if you want to remain relevant in that your industry, that your sector, you have to be 10 steps ahead all the time. You need to be scanning your environment to see what is happening within your industry, looking in your ecosystem. You need to practice forecasting. You need to enhance your skill set so you remain relevant. You need to keep updating. So it's a lot of actions going on. But that doesn't mean that you can't take out some time to rest. And then it comes to the next thing, which is the next indicator. We're talking about smart hard work, right? The next one is measurable. You don't want to just do all the hard work. You want to be sure that you're measuring what you're putting in. What you're putting in, your input, does it equal the output you're getting? If I put in 10 naira into this business, am I getting more than 10 naira? If I put in 2 hours of work, what kind of results do I get? So there has to be a way of measuring the input, whether it be the human resources input, the financial input, the time input. There has to be a way of measuring so that you can be sure that you're on the right track. Whatever is worth doing is worth measuring. If something is taking your time, taking your financial resources, taking your spiritual resources, then it needs to be measured. You want to be sure that what you're putting in, you're getting something valuable out of it. You want to be sure. If you don't have any baseline for measurement, how then can you say you're growing? Because even beyond the money you get, there has to be other indicators for growth. You want to look at your returning clients. You want to look at your customer base. You want to look at, the strength and the capacity of your staff members. You want to look at your revenue, the number of things you want to look at. So you need to sit down and look at that business and ask yourself, how can I measure the efforts and the resources I'm putting into this business? Remember, we're talking about business growth. And tonight we're talking about smart hard work. Smart hard work. Okay. And then we want to look at it. What you've set out to do, is it achievable? You don't want to set yourself up for a fall. Mistakes will happen. Oh, yes, no doubt. But there are certain mistakes that you don't even need to get into because they're avoidable. When we talk about risk mitigation, there are certain things you can avoid. One of my principles is think big, start small. It gives you a lot of room to learn, to make mistakes without breaking your heart and breaking your pocket. Some of us were just starting now. Remember what we're still talking about. So I'm talking within the context of business because this month, we're focused on business growth, right? Now, some of us haven't done something before. You just heard that this business is profitable. You just wake up, you go and collect money from different people, or perhaps you have your own money. Wham, you carry all the money, all the funds, and deploy it into that business. How does it happen? No desk research, no pilot, no viability study. You don't even know if that business is profitable, just that you heard. You've not even checked your capacity to be sure you can run that business. So there's a whole lot that goes into growing business is aside money. So if you're one of those on the table that keeps saying, no, my business, if only I could have money. Please, money is not the only thing you need to have to grow your business. A lot of people have had money and they blew the money because they didn't have the knowledge required to grow that business, to even run the business before you even start talking about growing the business. Sometimes even the passion required, you don't even have the passion. It's just because you heard that it's profitable. You want to make money. Wanting to get an income, make money is not enough reason to go into business. If your primary reason, I'm going to say this again so you hear it. If your primary reason for being in business is simply to make money, you won't go far with that business. There has to be some other thing that drives you. There has to be a compelling reason other than money that makes you stay in that business. That is what makes you get creative. That is what keeps you consistent in that line of business. That is what makes you look out for ways of making sure that you are going above and out. You're doing all that it takes to satisfy your clients and to pull in revenue into your business. So it has to go beyond money. And when you set micro goals, you achieve them easily and it builds your confidence level. But when you said you haven't baked bread before, and all of a sudden you want to, instead of you to do the pilot in your kitchen, you want to start up a bakery. So at some point going through all of it, you get overwhelmed. And you make colossal mistakes. And once you do that, it will attack your confidence level. I've gone through that before. And then when you want to do things, you start feeling, oh, supposing I fail again. Supposing the negative voice will keep coming at you. And before you know it, you'll give in to that. My dear, make sure that what you set out to do is achievable. And for it to be achievable, look within you, look around you. Do you have the capacity? Are you in the right environment? Do you have the right support system? Do you have enough resources? So look at all of that before you can say, yes, this goal I've set for myself is achievable. Do you have the time to do it? For some of you, there are a number of things you need to look at. Now, the next one is we're still talking in the context of hard work as a necessary ingredient for business growth. How relevant are the tasks you set out to do? How relevant are they to your business? How relevant are they to that process? Are you just setting it because you just want to set it? What are the connections? How relevant are they? So you need to sit down and think through. When we say hard work is not just physical. That's why there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. The time, the financial, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, a whole lot goes into growing a business. You need to be ready for it. And you need to be sure that you're moving in the relevant path. You're not distracted. You are not, you don't allow yourself to lose focus. You're jumping here and there. Then, of course, everything you do, everything, my dear, needs to have a time frame. There has to be a time frame. A time frame for accomplishing what you've set out to do. You need to be sure that you fix time for whatever you want to do. It propels you to move forward. Don't leave things in perpetuity. I will do it when you don't know when. Procrastination has killed a lot of business. If you look at the onset of COVID, so many people they were so quick to adapt, went into the online space because that was where everyone had moved into, and they were selling massively. We saw a lot of businesses that took off during the COVID period, and they're still thriving now, while a lot were buried because they lacked that ability to quickly, adapt. They were overtaken by time and event. So stop procrastinating. That evaluation you need to do, get it done now. That stock taking that needs to happen, get it done now. That new services you want to add, look, go get up and get it doing. That business plan you're putting out to do, fix a timeline. I want to do it in 2 days. I want to do it in 7 days. I want to do it in 3 weeks. Put a time frame. It doesn't mean that time frame is cast in stone, but it gives you something to run with. I will do it when you don't know when. So the time frame for accomplishing set actions is very critical. And it makes a difference between a successful business, a struggling business, and a failed business. So you want to be sure that you're up and doing, and you know that time is a non-renewable currency. You need to use it very, very effectively. So I hope you've gotten some nuggets from our conversation tonight. We've been talking about smart hard work as a necessary, essential ingredient for business growth. So if you want to grow your business, just be ready to do the work. Be ready to go the long haul. Know that business is not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted at all. Some days it will look as if everything is crashing around you. If you're selling online, keep your focus. Every day you may not make sales, but that will not deter you. Even when you make your business post and you see that you don't see any engagement, there are people who have read it. Keep showing up. Let that compelling reason for why you're in business keep pushing you forward. You're more than enough. No one else will do the work for you. Some people will set up business with the hope that they'll give it to one sister, one friend, someone to run the business or to market the business. They're not prepared to do the marketing involved in the business. Whether you're selling products or you're selling services, there's a lot of marketing that is required. If big brands who are well known, who are raking in a lot of money, are still invested in marketing, why would you be ashamed to market your product or services? Anything you're not proud of, then don't give it out to the public. You're not doing anybody a favor. What you're doing is that you're providing a solution. And for that solution you're providing, People are paying some money for it, or some other kind of exchange. It's a transactional, exchange. So you need to be sure that you're bringing out quality, relevant, solution-driven product or services. It's beyond the sentiments. People will buy what they feel will solve their pain. I have dreads. So if you're marketing maybe wig or hair extensions to me, the likelihood of me buying it is very slim because I'm carrying dreads and the dreads are long. So even the ones I have is a struggle to wear them. I will not be your ideal client. So people would only come to you if you have a solution to their problem. And that's what you want to do when you're in business. You've seen a need, you've seen a pain, and you want to fulfill it. So ask yourself that critical question tonight. What solution is my business providing? And the second question I want you to ask yourself is, how can I improve on my product and services? How can I get feedback? And then there's a truth you only can tell yourself. No one else can tell you. You know you better than anybody else does. You know you better than anybody else. You know the area you need to put in the smart hard work. And I want you to write it down tonight. Give yourself a time frame to say, Joy, this area, this area, this area, I need to improve. I need to improve on my marketing. I need to improve my, on my connections. I need to network more. I need to rebrand. Make it specific. Put a time frame to it. And as a result of doing all these things, what do you hope to achieve? Write it down. It helps to provide clarity. So you know what to say yes to and what to say no to. So, my darlings, this brings us to the end of tonight's conversation and to the end of our amazing month of May, where we've been having beautiful conversations on business growth. If you missed any of the episode in the month of May, please do go back and watch the replay. Trust me, you will get one, two, or more nuggets from our conversations. So, how did this work for you? Let me see in the comment section. Okay, great. Let me see. What are some of the feedbacks? Great, great, great. What are you taking away and what are you committing to doing? Excellent. Amazing. Beautiful. Now, you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to hold yourself what? Accountable. And remember, no one can do you better than you do yourself. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep doing the smart hard work, and you'll be shocked at the results you will get. For some of you here listening to me, watching the replay, between now and December, there's going to be a whole lot of shift. You'll be amazed at what 6 months, 5 months, 7 months can do to your business. As long as you're focused and you're willing to put in the smart, hard work. You can't delegate that one to someone else. There is that bit only you can do. You cannot give it out to someone. You're the visionary. You know why you started that business. Remain committed to your why. And so I look forward to seeing a brand new month in the month of June. I'm super excited because June is my birth month, and June, there's a number of things happening in the month of June. So have a blessed weekend. Keep staying strong. Keep your focused. And remember, keep doing the smart, hard work. And until I see you next week, Friday, stay blessed and know that I love you. I honor you and I will always celebrate you. Bye for now. See you.